Okay, let's do this in 3, 2, 1. It's Thrive time. Hey beautiful people, welcome and welcome back to Thrive Out Loud. I think I'm starting to enjoy doing car ride conversations. Maybe that's what I should call it, car ride conversations. But this is just a quick one in response to one of the questions I got. I think it was a comment on I think it was a comment on one of my videos with regards to studying civil engineering, especially having studied it at a university of technology, because there's sometimes misconceptions about like where it is that you get your qualification, the type of funding you're able to get, and how you're basically able to operate. I hope that makes sense, but how you're able to basically work once you're done with your studies, right? So I did my civil engineering diploma at the Varsity University of Technology, and back then you had to do S1, S2, S3, S4, and each S, and we used to laugh when our lecturers would say that each S takes roughly 6 months. S stands for semester, so we do semester 1 through to 4, and then you would have to do 12 months of experiential training, work integrated learning, which is basically you being in the workforce. And then from there you could basically graduate and then decide whether you want to study further, or you want to work, or you want to do both, which is what I did. But back when I was doing my national diploma, based on my matric results, I managed to secure a merit bursary. I just don't know if they still do it now, but because my average, or like my, what do I call it, my subject percentages, my subject year marks or pass marks, I don't know what it's called, that thing, but that final mark for my subject was more than 80%, and my total average as well was more than 80%. So that kind of secured me. That secured me a merit bursary. I think back then it was 15 grand. I don't know if they still do it, and I don't know about the amount now, but it was 15 grand, and it managed to cover Nyana at least a little bit here and there, because you know our fees are quite expensive, and they get more expensive the higher you go, based on which institution, which degree you're studying, and all of that. But obviously engineering doesn't come cheap, but it was 15 grand and it covered a little bit. And then the rest of the fees, there were savings put up and all of that, and they managed to cover the rest of my first year. But during my first year, because I could see wishy-washy, because in as much as there were savings here and there, I feel like one thing parents do is underestimate the real cost of having a child at the university. You know, they think if they've saved up 20 grand, it will take you far, it will take you like beyond borders. But that in fact only secures like your registration, maybe the first semester, and getting you everything you'll need for your studies. But so during my first year, I made sure to apply for bursaries, because I could see so I was busy applying for bursaries. I applied to more than 100, because I checked my emails from my very first year, and wow, I was like, baby girl has been a girl who sends emails, because you know, I wanted bursaries, and I also wanted in-service training for when I do kind of complete school and all of that, because I wanted to make sure, yay, let's drive through with this car, get like yana neighbors, because wow, how do I open the window? Over here. One normal, an orange juice, and Fanta orange.
the kid is meal, the one that has a burger and chips and an orange juice, I think. It's a boy. No, that's all. Thank you. Stop.
Right, so I was saying during my first year, now I lost my train of thought, but I was applying to a lot of companies for bursaries, and this was because you never really know which shot will shoot something tangible. So I didn't want to limit myself to say, because there's these people who apply for bursaries only to big companies, big corporations, or only to government, or only to, and much to my surprise, the bursary that actually got me funded was the very last one I sent. I remember it was, excuse me, around, I could be wrong, but I think around late November, because they close around 31 November, somewhere, November, October. But like, they really close early because they need to use maybe the last month of the year for administration purposes, and then January they probably let you know whether you get it or not. And then applying, and the ones that bored me Kesana, were these ones that want you to send posts. These ones that want you, obviously they want you to certify your qualifications, your ID, to verify you are a real human and all of that. You don't have qualifications yet, your metric result and your academic record. Hello. And I just kept shooting my shots, and of course sometimes you already have this attitude, they want me to send posts when others allow you to submit by email. But either or, as a student, I feel like you could always learn something new from whatever it is that you need to do. I learned how to send emails at a very early age, learned how to like run around doing admin and all of that at a very early age, so that was fine. Then the bursary that ended up funding me was from, why are you on? Okay, was from the Department of Education, and it and they basically needed me to basically send my academic transcript, my metric results, my proof of identification, my proof of residence for that province. And yeah, so the one that I ended up getting was from Mpumalanga province, and we used my home address from Mpumalanga because we've got a home that side, let me put it that way. So we used that address, and that ended up being the bursary that I got. But when applying for a bursary, my biggest advice to you would be that don't limit yourself to specific corporations. Sometimes it's not even civil engineering companies that will give you bursaries. Sometimes it's these mines. I know a friend of mine who got one from ArcelorMittal. I know one who got one from Air Products. I know one who got one from so many different places. Hi, thank you. Thank you. So, alrighty, we're going. Thank you. Then I keep losing my train of thought because I'm multitasking. This rain in Borile. But don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself to what you think you know. Sometimes there are some companies that are just, I want to say multi-talented, but companies that are multidisciplinary. They're not just doing civil engineering, and maybe they are better known for their other what can I say, other industries and not just the civil. Like, there could be a company that deals with the petrochemical, electrical, mechanical, civil, chemical, and what industries, and we just know them for doing the one field. Maybe we know them for the petrochemical, and then you decide not to apply to them because it looks like it's just you shooting blanks. But don't limit yourself based on what you think you know. But yeah, that's all I had to say. So all the best. If you happen to be applying for Woody bursaries right now and you wanted maybe a bit of advice like the person who asked about funding opportunities, do so. Then I know at my previous campus where I used to study, where I'm currently lecturing, there's the NW block or N block, could be watching it, but maybe if you ask someone, because I'm not there all the time. There's a specific block that normally puts up posts for bursary opportunities and for work integrated learning opportunities. So do make sure that you keep in check with that, because you never know what opportunity may be looking for you, for specifically you as an individual. But because all you do is go to school, come back, you don't mingle, you don't network, you don't ask questions, then you miss valuable information like that. So I hope this was helpful to someone, whoever it is. If you have any other questions, any concerns, anything that you want clarity on, either as a student or as a young professional or as a person who is looking to get into either a university or University of Technology, or like you just someone on the side of the road wanting to understand, you just a bystander or stand by, and you want to know like what's going on, what's the story with this industry, what's the story with this university, I'll be more than happy to help. I'll be more than happy to provide said information, provided you ask. You can always leave a comment down in the comment section, or you can drop me an email, or you can drop me a DM. I will be sure to plug the details somewhere down there so you know how to get hold of me. I think I'm available on WhatsApp as well, just if people are creepy on WhatsApp, so let's leave that one out. So if you need me, you know where to find me. I think I'm gonna leave this one right here because I'm almost home, done with my Sunday morning errands. And right now it's like midday, and I see why no one wants to go with me when I'm running errands, because but that's it from me. Bye.